50 million Americans purchased their health care insurance from the Affordable Care Act, passed in 2010 by the Obama administration. This act provides the 50 million Americans, many with pre-existing conditions, the ability to purchase health insurance that they were not able to purchase before the Affordable Care Act existed. It also outlawed denial of insurance based on pre-existing conditions and is one of the most popular programs of the coming from the Obama administration. A lot of people automatically assumed that the Affordable Care Act would be repealed when when Donald Trump won the presidency on November 5th. This is not exactly true for several reasons. One main reason is he did not promise very often to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Yes, he was conflicting. He has a poor memory of what his position is, and he often wandered in speeches. But the narrative he told was the Affordable Care Act was bad, and he didn't tell the story that he tried to repeal it 63 times in Congress, and it failed. The narrative he gave was they tried to make it better and fix it, and he kind of sort of promised that the ACA would be reformed versus removed. Second major reason why the Affordable Care Act is unlikely to be repealed is its popularity. It has poll numbers better than any presidential candidate, with 70% of Americans in favor of the continuation and the improvement of this program. Third reason is the results in Congress. The Republicans are set to lead the House by 5 votes. They have also rated the House of Representatives for 4 or 5 cabinet level positions so far in the 2 weeks past the November 5th election, and that is likely to lead to Democratic gains in special elections where they are more motivated by the Affordable Care Act and the Dobbs decision to vote for Democratic candidates. So we therefore, on a percentage scale, say that the ACA is in grave danger because Donald Trump could change his mind, and a reform package could be a more likely outcome, possibly a bipartisan reform package. But the likelihood of repealing the ACA with such tight margins in the Congress and the lack of a 60-seat majority in the Senate, with only a reconciliation bill going through the Senate once a year, I would rate the chances of the ACA being repealed as quite low. However, there is a funding package that was passed in the American Rescue Act by the Biden administration that is expiring, and it is possible that Trump administration and his billionaire buddies who don't like paying for the Affordable Care Act, especially Elon Musk, they may, when the funding for these programs comes due in 2025, choose to pull funding from the program and try and starve it that way. This would be a repeat of the tactics of Trump 1.0, where the amount of advertising for Affordable Care Act and the level of government support and subsidies was drastically lowered, but the program survived the 4 years of the Trump administration. I would rate the chances of the Affordable Care Act as 1 in 5, 20% of being repealed outright, but it is possible that it will be damaged severely by other policies of the Trump administration, including the plan to spend $600 billion to remove between 11 and 20 million illegal immigrants from the country, which will seriously damage the economy. Also, a tariff-led recession, which is very likely in 2025 or 2026, is going to tighten government funding. Also, the general budget deficit, which is not talked of anymore, is still in excess of $500 billion a year. And Elon Musk is promising, without much backing, to close the deficit, and the ACA funding is an easy place to get money into the budget. There is also the looming Social Security crisis, which could force the government to divert funding from other programs into Social Security. If Social Security and the ACA are both attacked during the first 2 years of its second Trump term, that will lead to the thing that stops most presidents, which is low approval rating. Just watch the Trump approval rating, which will probably start up south of 45%, possibly high 50% depending on the outcome of wars and peace initiatives. As the approval rating of Donald Trump declines, and as his lame duck status becomes more obvious, the chance of the ACA being repealed will decrease, although the chance of it being modified and damaged by policymakers is still quite high. If you like this content, please press subscribe. We need subscribers. We're trying to build this channel up into a media powerhouse, and we're giving ourselves 3 or 4 years to do it. We're going to try and provide good content, good analysis twice daily on weekdays, and shorter news when appropriate. And please share it with your friends. Thank you very much, and have a pleasant day. And we'll see you in another article coming Thursday.